Toretto shitty tuna sandwich. There, 10 out of 10 movies. I think I fucked up the name every single week. Proud of
11.
myself.
Way to be consistent.
Even better. Your host always, Bryan Dressel. With me as always is Matt, Zombie Dog. Oh boy. Vauxhall HC Viva Farenza, Canada from 1971 through 73. Dykes.
I was just waiting. And then the surname. Come on, do the whole name. So just to clarify, was the oh boy a part of that name, or
No,
was
the
that just
oh
you
boy
looking at
was
going,
just
oh boy?
Yeah, me regretting instantly picking the longest name on there for you.
Is that the longest nickname we've ever had? I think that's longer. I think that's longer than who, what, why, where, when, how we did it in Shadows.
I'm not doing the syllable math on that to get there, so I'm just gonna go with yes. That's it. We did it.
Until the next one, which is Joel.
Supercalifragisticexpialidocious. No, Joel's gonna be much shorter. We have Joel ANC Pacer DeWitte. It's the Pacer, everyone's favorite car.
Like the car at the start of NASCAR where they're just going the minimum speed for all the other cars to drift behind them until they start the actual race.
What are you trying to say about Joel?
No, I believe
slow, mostly.
Slow and mildly in the way, but it's okay.
No. What he's saying is Joel sets the pace. He sets the pace.
I like it.
He sets that bar.
The bare minimum. It's the Joel threshold. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I believe the Pacer is the car that Garth drives in Wayne's World, but I could be wrong there. So if that helps you feel anything at all, Joel,
I've never seen those movies.
You never seen Wayne's World?
No.
All right,
nothing surprises me at any point.
Moving on.
For once in my life, I'm speechless.
Yeah, so am I. So we're giving Ryan the cool one, although I think I've already used this one, but Ryan's earned a cool one. We got Ryan, DMC Delorean, Lootens.
I don't think we've used it, but I like it. So I'm a blimp and a time traveling car. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I did give you the 81 to 83. I did give you the new one.
I was gonna say, is it the new DeLorean? Because we could have used the old one, and now we've just used the new one. So
well, the new one's in this movie we're talking about.
Exactly.
Cypher pulls up in one. It's just like, oh, this stupid car ad.
Wait, it took you 10 of these films to realize that it's just a car ad?
No, because a lot of the movies, they don't really showcase the brands of the cars. They just like, no, the cars are cool. I mean, a little bit. I think the DeLorean was the most blatant to me, but
even
I'm still
5 has the fucking Dodge logo, like full size in the screen.
You're not wrong.
When they go to do the Vault, it's like, and this is the Dodge. Look at the power the Dodge has. It can pull a Vault. It's a Dodge. I
own a Dodge,
like
so it worked for me.
You and I pay attention to entirely different things during these movies. I've come to notice.
Matt's
I don't pay
attention
to it. It's just fucking there. I can't help it.
Well, assuming that no one else realized it, maybe you can.
Maybe I just pay more attention than the rest of you.
To the wrong parts of the movie. Yeah, this is what we're getting at.
Shit, you're onto something there. What's that guy's name? Paul Walker? The character? That's the character's name, right?
Yep, that's the character who's no longer in these movies. All right, let's oh boy. Okay, so Fast X is what we're talking about today, and clearly we're all very excited to talk about it as we're just killing time left and right not talking about it. Came out earlier this year, did okay. People thought it obviously Vin Diesel wanted this to be the largest movie ever made, and it's just I think we've passed that point. If we were going to make that movie, you already made it. And at this point, it's kind of like, oh, people are showing up because it's another one. But that's really the only driving force here.
I mean, let's be honest. Vin Diesel's opinions on what the film is going to be is questionable at best, considering he thought that Fast 8 was going to be
Best Picture.
Going to Best Picture at the Oscars. Yep. Maybe the Razzies.
Maybe. It's not bad enough for the Razzies. It's not good enough for anything else. Fast 8 is just see you next week in our rankings.
Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards.
Yeah.
MTV Best Kiss winner.
Nope. But no, I saw Fast X opening weekend with my wife. Very excited to see it. And then even going in knowing the reviews are saying Momoa is great. The rest of it is really not. And even with that, we were kind of talking before we started recording. I really enjoy watching this movie, but I think it's one of the worst movies we have. But for some reason, it's more okay being that bad. I think I largely credit that to Momoa. Like he kind of brings it to this different level. But yeah, this is kind of a rough watch. Like I believe Joel said while we were watching it, this is fucking cartoons. And it's like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, at this point it kind
To
of
be fair
is.
though, this has been fucking cartoons since what was the one where they parachuted out of the thing? 7?
Well, I'd give it to 6 when they're like launching across the bridge because the tank is chasing them. But
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that'd be my first like, oh, we're going full Wile E. Coyote on this. Okay, I can
Yeah.
dig it. But this one is where I think they've finally gone like a bridge too far. And by the end of this movie, with driving down the dam as it's exploding up behind him and the blue fire mixing with the orange fire, like this is just, and it makes kind of an X because we're in Fast X.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys, this is too
I think
much.
I
And then they
blocked
spend
that
like
from my
300 million
mind.
fucking dollars on this thing. Like, ugh, I would not want to be in the Universal boardroom talking about this
You know when
movie.
like every now and again I'll bring up like how much of an impact 9/11 had, and then this film has like they're blowing up a fucking dam there that's going
Yeah.
to wipe out whatever village is below it as well. Like, this is an insane world to be in.
Yeah, oh yeah. This is like, why would you live in Gotham if Gotham was a real place? In Fast and Furious, it's like, why would you live on Earth? Like, get
Why
out of
would
the
you
way.
live anywhere that Dominic Toretto goes?
Just
Like,
don't live anywhere where there's groups of people dancing in booty shorts because it's just gonna get blown up. Like, it's just
Yeah.
not worth it.
I just want to see one scene where Dominic Toretto, like basically like a remake of First Blood, but it's Dominic Toretto, and the sheriff is like, "We don't want you in our town. We don't want our town destroyed. Toretto, get out of here."
And Toretto just goes, family. And then he just
Yeah.
starts driving around.
No, you mean
Like, it's just getting more and more.
sir,
mumbling.
please remove the marbles from your mouth.
Yeah, this one was probably the most mumbly. But anyhow, that was my hot
I mean, that was a
take.
better joke than I was going to pull. I was going to say, did he have a stroke at some point?
Did anybody else see this in theaters, or was this everybody else's first time?
No, this is my first time.
First
time.
I hadn't
Timer here.
seen.
Oh wow.
I hadn't seen the rest of them by the time it was in theaters, and I thought if I jump in now, this is not going to work very well. And I didn't want to. I was keeping with the I will watch them as we go through them, not
Yeah.
just like I'll just go through all. I think if I'd have just watched them all, like back to, I'd have been like, guys, I'm going to sit the rest of this podcast series out. It's a bit much.
You jump
I
into
wanna-
10, it's like,
I want to join the I want to join the Matt and Joel club and be the first timers for a Fast and Furious movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be doing that a
Mhm.
lot with our next show, which I've not done before, so I'm excited. Oh, I guess I did it for Hobbs and Shaw, and then greatly regretted it. So we'll see how next show goes.
You're welcome.
I mean,
There is
if
regret on
it
my
makes you
level,
feel
too.
better, the whole of the next series is better than Hobbs and Shaw. It's not saying much. It's a very fucking low bar,
That's-
but
that-
it jumps over it.
The bar has been buried by Hobbs and Shaw. But all right,
The
I
bar
want to hear
has
some other
been
hot
buried
takes.
so
Where did
deep.
you guys land on it? I want to hear some other hot takes.
I will let someone else go because I keep mumbling and shit. So I'll just.
For me, as I was watching, I was thinking, okay, this is very subpar. Like, we are definitely we're trying to outdo ourselves when our greatness was 3 or 4 movies ago, and it shows. They try to up the bars in ways that really can't be done. Even like when you think about 9 and they went to space, and even now you're like, oh, now we're back on. Okay, like nothing. The movie is saved by Jason Momoa and his antics, but even that, and I'm a firm believer that good villains make good movies, but even with Jason Momoa, I'm like, no. Jason Momoa was fantastic in this, but even he couldn't save this movie to save his life. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Joel, where'd you land?
Jason Momoa is the only one that wanted to be there.
That's so true.
You know how
Everyone else is a paycheck, basically.
Yeah.
like Fast 9. I remember it was Roman, right, who like became self-aware of
Yeah.
what he was in.
Yep.
And this felt like that too, except nobody was having fun with it. Like that felt more of like a playful jab. This feels like oh well, we gotta loop this up and close the loop on it. It reminded me weirdly a little bit of Avengers Infinity War, where like the most captivating thing was the villain and the center of gravity about all that was happening, except none of them wanted to be there. Like nobody else pretended or even got close to the level that the other actors did in something like that. It is absurd, and I don't know about you guys, but things felt a little like fast paced throughout all this. I don't remember much in terms of like character development and growth, which I think goes back to the like those people are there to be their archetype of a character, and that's about it. Like there are good moments, but it's just it didn't connect to me, and it goes back to the, like there's a lot of fun in here. This is not objectively a good movie.
Yeah, no, this is you mean it was a good comparison to Infinity. I like Infinity War a little bit more than this one. Actually quite a bit more.
I love Infinity War.
Infinity War's a good movie. I don't want him
Infinity
dragging
War
it
was
down
probably
to
the
Fast
last.
X.
That's not meant as drag. I was just thinking more like infrastructure wise, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah.
Infinity War has a lot going on, but they managed to tie it together, whereas this film has a lot going on and they kind of tie it together very loosely with thread that's about to snap.
They both very clearly know that this is the first in a 2-part, well, in this case, 3-part sequel or finale. But I think this one,
they're walking that back already.
This one already knows it too much. And so there's too much of us that is just seemingly setting the stage for the next one.
I'm going to say this. When you have a movie like Fast X and how bad there are so many loose ends, and then you look at Dead Reckoning Part 1 and how everything kind of fit nicely into the bow, even though you know that there's more to come. Mission Impossible did it better, whereas this one you're like, they're about to drown at the very end. Like there needs to be some type, like this is not a weekly special where we have to wait 3 years for the next movie. Whereas Mission Impossible, everything worked up, wrapped up nicely, and at the very end, you see a sub, and you're like, holy crap, they still have to deal with the actual machine. So there's a difference between good storytelling.
However,
I think that's the problem. Like when you go into a film saying like, oh, this is part 1 of blah, 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 you just go into it knowing that everything that's happening doesn't really matter because it's just leading to the next one, especially with this one, because you've got this thing and it's running, like Joel said, it's so fast paced. So it's running like 100 miles an hour towards that finish line. But you know that's not the finish line. So when it gets to the end and it's like you've got this, oh, curse your inevitable betrayal by Jack Reacher. And
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I'm sorry.
But we should make movies
Mute him again. But that's the thing. There's just so much happening in this film that kind of leads nowhere. Like, and I think I said in the chat, like, there's so many characters, and unfortunately, it's mainly female characters who show up in this film and have literally there's no point that they're being like Helen Mirren, just like randomly showing up for like no reason. You've got
who plays his grandma? Like I'm blanking on her name.
Rita Moreno.
Thank you. Like we got like a legend in this thing.
So underused.
Like who just shows up to be like, I love you, Dom.
Yeah.
And he goes,
like,
and then they move on, and that's it.
Charlize Theron, who is again, she's been very underused in this series.
The whole movie,
completely. Like every single.
I feel so validated. Everyone thought I was going to talk trash about her, like way back when, before we even started this. I'm like, no, I'm just saying she's the most underused person in the entire franchise. And
she still comes back for a third time, and they still haven't figured out what her character is. It's just like, oh well, now she's in prison, but Letty's in prison because we gotta split Letty and Dom up again. We haven't done this before. But now we need Letty to get out. Oh, what are we going to do? Let's have Charlize Theron show up. And, like, they can break out together, but then they can try and fight to keep her in prison. Then, again, what the hell is going on with the security in that prison? There was an alarm going off. Letty managed to climb all the way up that vent thing, come all the way back down, and there's still no guards in there. There's still no guards have shown up. And it's like, she's just laying there going, told you you'd need me. And she's like, where did you get those suits from? You just go like, is there a fucking mall on this like clandestine Antarctic black site or something that you just went like you went to the local mall and like, oh, just a bit of shopping for some like winter gear. It's a bit chilly out there. And oh man, but again, it's just this underusing of these characters. Like you have, I don't even know what the character's name is, and I vaguely can't really remember the actress's name, Daniela Melanchoir or something like that.
Oh, Ratcatcher 2?
Ratcatcher 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal actress. Literally does nothing but, I think she's got some files here that, like, why do you have them still? Like, what the hell? Like, I'll just keep these around just in case. Just in case. Like, I mean, this is 10 years ago as well, apparently, according to this book. So, she must have been a kid. So, again, why is this kid looking at these files going, oh, I'll keep them around for now? And then B, why is she, like, basically Dante's girlfriend or something like that and hasn't given him the files anyway? She might as well have been called Miss Exposition.
Well, yeah. Like, we wanted to bring back Thor's wife, but we kind of shot her in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Sister.
Yeah, it's like a sister that was never heard of, never mentioned, not one mention of having a sister, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, and then suddenly she's like, oh yeah, because I got a nephew now or whatever it is, whatever that relation is. I don't fucking know.
I also just joking aside, I love the fucking bloodhound sniffing like family dog that Dom is. Like she just shows up like, that's family. That's family.
I mean, he's just like literally just a dog. Family. It's like, and if they're not,
help your leg.
If they're not actual blood relatives, then they're going to be a metaphorical,
metaphysical,
whatever. Metaphorical family by the
Transdimensional?
end of the fucking film. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you've killed everyone in a frigging hospital, but you say a couple of nice things and it's like, oh, you're family now.
Oh, he even accepted Jack Reacher at like the very drop of a hat, and it's like, you idiot! Like,
yeah,
come, like everyone can see, like, oh, he's the bad guy. Like, yep, there he is. That's him. Because if you didn't catch him in the opening beginning, which I think he's so recognizable, when he's sitting in the office, I'm like, oh, there he is. Like,
it's like,
he's right there.
There's an Arnold Schwarzenegger looking motherfucker there. Why is he there? He's got big arm. Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher. Again, no idea what the character's name is. I forgot.
Yeah, no idea whatsoever.
This film doesn't really give a shit about who these new characters are. Like, we're just throwing a bunch of new characters, and oh look, it's like this guy's really famous now. He's really good as Jack Reacher. People love him. He's great as Jack Reacher. We'll put him in here, and oh look, Brie Larson. She's really famous. We'll throw her in. Who is she? Nobody's daughter.
Family.
Who nobody's fucking mentioned. Like, and all of a sudden, Dom suddenly knows that he's like. Does Dom have like a Rolodex of like top secret, like clandestine operations and their family members? Just because, like, I'm all about family. I need to see your family before I work for you. Family.
It wouldn't surprise me.
The family book. It's like literally just a little black. He's got a little black book that just says family on it.
Dom's family ethos is, I'll show you yours if you show me mine. Or I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yeah, that is the Dom way.
Oh my god.
The one that I will say though, before we start like diving into more chronologically, because there is some good stuff in this movie. We did all kind of.
I did rant a little bit more than I was expecting.
Yeah, we're all like,
didn't even mention Momoa. Momoa, fucking great. Like,
yeah, I know. Like, Momoa's
so
great.
good in this.
Cena's really fun in this. He's playing a wildly different character than the last movie, but that's.
I mean,
fine.
it's like that's like completely. Like, that's why I just kept calling him Peacemaker in my notes. It's like,
yeah,
he's just Peacemaker now.
Yeah, he's just Peacemaker now. But I'm also kind of fine with that because I like Peacemaker. So
yeah.
He's infinitely more likable in this movie than he was where he was the antagonist.
Oh,
because
for
again, it's like, oh well, he's family, so all of a sudden we're gonna forgive everything he's ever done. Like, he's essentially a war criminal, I think, at one point. Like, based on some of the stuff that he did. Now he's family, and it's fine.
He's family, family. But
I'll tell you one thing. My brother tries to murder me. I don't give a shit if he says sorry at any point. I'm still shooting the fucker in the head. He tried to kill me and my family.
If my brother is John Cena, I might forgive him. It's John Cena.
Yeah,
he's so charismatic.
True. You know what? I'm gonna bet like 10-1, he comes back in the sequel and is actually the big villain, and he's actually still a villain, and it's whoa. Family betrayed you again, Dom.
As I mentioned to you when you messaged me while watching this, like, I can't believe they just killed Peacemaker. I'm like, yeah, he knew how to get out of that franchise. Like that, he's not coming back. This was fun, guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah, but we've seen people get blown up in cars before and somehow manage to survive that.
Yeah,
so,
but those people weren't doing things. I didn't see them doing anything else in between. Like Gal Gadot comes back mysteriously right after Wonder Woman 3 gets shut down. Like I see what's going on here. Peacemaker's blowing up. Yeah, he's not coming back. He's gone. And it's okay. The movies will be fine without him. Like this thing, he wasn't even with anyone from the franchise the whole movie. He just kind of shows up. Like I don't think John Cena spent a day with Vin Diesel on this movie, and it's fine. It works.
He's the UPS
Vin,
driver. That's really all he is. He's delivering a package.
Yeah.
And
it's really because Vin Diesel didn't want to be like, "Hi guy, hi dude," looking up at him like that.
Hey, little brother, like, how you doing up there?
Hey, little brother. He's like, "Can I get a half apple?" Vin, you're gonna need a stepladder to be eye to eye with this guy.
You're gonna need a couple of apples, is all I'm telling you.
You're gonna need a whole bushel.
I love the idea of referring to a crate of apple boxes as a bushel of apples. I'm sure someone's done that.
You'll need the whole tree to be like to be eye lined with
anyhow.
John Cena.
Vin Diesel is short. All right, let's try to move through this thing as chronologically as we can. We don't really need to do too much because the movie doesn't. But I figure that's kind of the best way to bring Momoa into this thing. I'm not a huge fan of the way they do the opening because, like, I know how much Vin Diesel is like sweating not having Paul Walker in these movies, and then he's all over this movie. Like they use him in like footage, they use him in photos. Like there's just a shitload of Paul Walker, and I get it in the opening because the opening takes place during 5, so I'm like, okay, that kind of works.
It's just like reusing, like what I said, like on one of my notes is we get to see Vault Chase again, only with added Momoa.
Yeah, just now with Momoa in it, and and fucking Jack Reacher for a few seconds because he's obviously there. Sorry, you need someone who can hide better than that fucking dude.
Just have him sit behind a coat rack or something, like a big fucking coat rack.
He would need to sit behind a coat rack factory, like he's too fucking big.
Could have dyed his hair at that point.
Yeah.
You have cinematographers. They can frame shit. Use it. Use that skill of framing things.
I love the idea of him having a different hair color now that Ryan said it, and just at that scene, like later, just have the two of them and Jason Momoa just like, you should dye your hair blonde, and it's like that would have been great.
That would have been actually quite fun. It's like, so what are you gonna do with all the money we're paying you? I'm gonna buy some hair dye.
I don't want to be too recognizable.
I'm playing this character called Jack Reacher in another season. He's blonde. I think I'm gonna go blonde.
I should watch that show. I do. I really like this actor.
It's really fucking good, and he is fantastic in it.
I read his whole interview about how he kind of got booted out of Ninja Turtles. Like he was still there, but he was promised so much more than he was given. It's like this poor guy. Like I'm glad he's doing great now.
To be fair, I read something about him who said that Ninja Turtles was the worst thing that he's ever worked on.
I was like, that poor guy. But he's doing great now. So yeah, good for him. Anyhow, so the movie just kind of like, here's random bullshit reason that Dom needs to go back to work. It has something to do with Rome. So the entire crew goes off to Rome. And like, this is like kind of the problem with these movies at this point. It's like, there's bullshit in this filming location. Everyone head to the filming location. It's not like, it never feels organic anymore. This one just kind of feels like either Mission Impossible had a filming permit that they could extend for Fast and Furious, or Fast and Furious did for Mission Impossible, but either way, they both take place in the same spot, which I find very funny.
I'm sure that Netflix, it's 6 Underground, that's in Rome, and I'm sure that the same fucking places, like they do like a literally like a drift around the same thing.
Everyone
in this film,
the same spot. Like in this movie, they drop a ball down those stairs. In the next movie, in Mission Impossible, a car rolls down the stairs. It's all the same locations, but both this movie and
the
Mission
same
Impossible,
shots. They just CGI'd a different object.
Yes. Yeah, But these both movies both end with submarines coming out of the water, or one in the water, one coming out of the water. So both of these movies have a chase in Rome and end on a shot in a submarine. I find it very funny. I'm never gonna let it go.
So they're jumping the sub again.
Yes.
Did they not learn anything from Fast 8?
Yeah, they really should.
Or Fate of the Furious, or whatever the fuck they called it.
But I gotta say, like,
for these films.
Once shit starts popping off in Rome, it's a good chase sequence. Like, just kind of all around. Like, it's dumb. Like, the pinball in Rome is very, very stupid. But I like everything from like trying to chase down the truck to losing the bomb out of the truck. Like, seeing Momoa's plan just kind of unfold, and his plan is like very organized chaos, but I also kind of enjoy it. I also love that like he jumps on a bike to get in with the chaos. Like, oh, I'm part of this shit. Like, I really enjoy having a villain who's getting his hands dirty, because this one felt like he could have been one of those, I'm going to shoot my scenes out in a week as I stand against a green screen and do my villain speeches. And then, we'll slide him into whatever location I'm at. But no, he gets in the mix every time. And I really like that, makes him a much more fun villain to engage with.
What I like as well is his love of the ballet as well. Like, everything's so big and operatic and epic to him, and it's like he just like breaks into the going like da 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 da, and it's so like you can see he's loving it, but he's just any bit of scenery he's like going nom 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 nom, like Pac-Man, and he's loving every minute of it. And he's great. He's so fucking good, and it's like me coming as someone who like watching Stargate Atlantis and like talking about how cool the character played in there, and like people, I don't know, I don't watch that Stargate crap. That's weird sci-fi shit. And now everyone's like literally sucking his dick, saying how amazing he is, and I'm there going, thank you, thank you. I fucking said this like 15 years ago.
This is the first time I recall an enemy like name dropping or talking specifically to a lot of the crew members and saying them by name. Like Dante, this whole sequence, it'll be like, hey Letty, and then start chasing after her, and it's just like, I'm coming after you, Dom.
It's the taunting. It's that sort of classic sort of movie trope of taunting, but they've not just got him just taunting Dom. He's taunting everyone, and it's quite like we have been shitting on this film for being dumb, but it's actually a really clever piece of writing in that you visually are seeing how much information he has managed to gather on these people, and you're seeing his intelligence network just in the fact that he knows exactly who the people are, where they're going to be, and he knows everything about them to be able to taunt them like this as well. Like, the fact that he gets on a motorbike, he's like, he knows that Letty's going to be on a motorbike.
Yeah.
So, and it's that kind of thing. And I think it's quite intelligent writing, or it's just coincidence. It could just be that they threw enough stuff at a wall, something's going to stick eventually. But I do like that as well, because it's not just taunting the main character, it's taunting everyone, but it's taunting everyone in a way that suits the character as well. It's not just the same type of taunting.
It's that personalizing. Like all the other enemies, a lot of them have personalized the impetus or excuse to go after them. It'll be like, oh, you killed my brother or whatever like that. But it's just like, it is that in your face. Not only do I know what I want from you, but I'm also going to like mock you and troll you a little bit. That feels, and it feels more fun because of that, because it's just kind of absurd.
And it is like, the absurd is a perfect description of it, because there's so many times where he's basically doing the Dr. Evil, begin the unnecessarily slow-moving dipping mechanism on Dom. Like, so many times, like, just shoot him. Like, I feel like there should be a Scott Evil just sitting there going, I have a gun in my room. I'll go get it. We'll shoot him together.
But they actually do a good job explaining why they don't do that in this movie. Like, I love like they make sure they hammer home like, this is gonna be ridiculous, but that ridiculousness is part of the plan. Like, that's yes, I could just kill him, but he's like, and what's the line, like, never accept death when suffering is owed. Like, I really like that motivates the rest of the movie, and
it's a good fucking line, that as well.
It is, and like,
it's so good.
You just kind of get more and more lost in the whole, like, oh wow, I feel like they took the Ryan approach of like, as long as we have a good villain, we have a good movie. So put all focus on the villain, and fuck, we forgot to write the rest of the movie.
We're gonna get him one line of motivation and just have him act. Go.
Yeah, but the one line is good enough. It works.
Yeah,
Things
and
are like, and that you get that with Momoa as well. It's like, oh, we've hired Momoa. Okay, cool. So, well, what should we do? I just write that one line and just let him have fun with it. Yeah, cool.
Because
And then you get this so much fun. Like it is so fun. Like as much as like he is the villain, he's a bad guy. I like seeing him on screen. Like every time he's like, whenever it's something else, I'm just kind of like, okay, let's move on. Let's get back to Momoa. And it's like it's the Dark Knight Rises effect that I had when I was watching that in the cinema. I was there like every time it was on Batman, I was like, don't care about Batman. Go back to Bane. That's actually interesting to watch. Like,
you're
you know,
lucky
what
in
he's
Dark Knight
doing.
Rises because there's only 16 minutes of Batman in that 3-hour movie. 16.
Good.
16
Batman
in
or
the
Bruce
Batman
Wayne
movie.
Batman, Bruce Wayne, whatever. Like whenever we go to him in that prison, I'm just like, no, I'm more interested in what Bane's doing because it's a more interesting story and like seeing what the character's doing. And it's
16 minutes, Matt. 16.
Whatever. I don't care. I don't suck Batman's dick like you do.
I'm fine with this. I need more of it. That's the problem.
I mean, I'm a Batman fan too, so I'm in Team Brian.
Anyhow, let's keep moving through this. As much as I love the Rome sequence, and I like my line might come from the Rome sequence. I have a few lines in here.
I've got quite a few. More lines than I was expecting, to be fair.
I have to.
We have John Cena and Momoa. We got two like fucking quote machines in this thing.
I just want to say something about Rome. What I really loved about Rome is just the sequence in general is how you're allowing Roman to be the leader. Like you get that distinction, which is maybe setting something up for the next film.
No, he's dead.
I like
gets
how
shut down. He's dead.
I like. Well, he very well could be dead in the plane crash, but we know he's going to be.
That's one way that the rest of the actors are like, can we just leave this franchise? Okay, we'll kill you at the end of this.
Yeah,
we'll come back at Fast 14 or whatever.
God, I would love that. Just like, no, that wasn't a cliffhanger. We died.
We're dead. We're burning alive. But like,
there's one shot of us in the next film, it's just us screaming while we're burning.
But I also like how later on in the film, you also have Tej comforting Roman in the fact, like, you are a good leader. So I really like that aspect of it. Roman can't help the fact that it was a setup. There's nothing there, but I just like the fact that it allowed someone else to take the reins. And because when you have Vin Diesel as a leader, it only goes so far. So having that breath of fresh air with a different leader, like they're still working for the agency, which what the fuck is this agency? Like that's never explained ever.
It's the agency. It's like the firm in Airwolf. Like, who are you? Are they CIA? No, we're the firm.
Yeah,
What's that?
It's the
firm.
No,
capital T, capital H, capital E.
Yeah.
But and I liked how it just kind of all went down that Dom and there were able to come back and save them, and you just got Jason Momoa just living in the moment with his ridiculousness. But yeah, I just liked how there's an offshoot to show like letting other people take the spotlight. That's a different approach than what we've seen in other movies, and I thought that worked for me.
What I liked as well is when Tej and Roman, they have the little fight as well, and it's all it's like this kind of build up, and it is so believable that people working in that close proximity in that high pressure, something's gonna break at some point, and then like the way that they come back together as friends again, it's kind of really believable as well. Yeah. Of like, sorry that I was, letting my frustrations out on you. It wasn't your fault. And it is like, because it is so realistic in the terms of like, because of how much Momoa has planned this, it doesn't matter if it was Dom who was like it's still a setup, and there wouldn't have been any way of knowing that. But apart from the fact that it's Dom's fucking psychic. But it's also nice to see a leader who can actually, explain the plan to people rather than just mumble and like, have people like trying like writing notes and going, sorry, what did you say there? Family. Was that something about family? What I give me the specifics of the plan. I need to know what I'm doing. All I hear is mumbles.
I agree with what you guys are saying. I wish it was executed better. Like I wish we didn't have so much Roman being like, I want to be a leader. If I was the leader, and then the end of the movie like, did you know that you were a leader? Like it was just they hit it so hard. I feel like we could have had a much better emotional
They've
hit.
been doing that
but-
since 8 though.
That's
But
the
I
problem
love-
is like because they don't let it up, and like if
Yeah.
they hadn't done that, and just at this point, it's like, oh, by the way, you've been leading us. Like it could have been handled better.
But like what I really enjoy though is how we've got this whole arc for Roman throughout this whole movie and how not subtle he is, and he runs this mission in a gold-plated Lamborghini. I mean, it just worked. It
But
really.
what I'm thinking, it's so funny with that is like, because it's like, it's such a Roman thing to do, like, oh yeah, for this plan, I need a gold-plated Ferrari. But then actually, it's
He baked
utilized
it into the
quite
plan.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's literally come up with an idea. It's like, no, I'm going to use it to blind them. It's great.
Yeah.
And it actually, it's not a bad, it's the only way I could figure out, it's the only way that anyone could figure a way to like actually get them to buy a gold Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like with taxpayers' money. Just bear in mind that this agency is, if it's a government agency, your money paid for that Ferrari.
Yeah.
Mine didn't, because I'm not American.
All right, so after all this, we kind of start moving into like the movie kind of goes a little bit of a grab bag of just like random excuses to put characters in weird situations. Like we had Letty get arrested in Rome as the only person who gets arrested in Rome. She
Yeah,
takes the
that
heat
was
for
so
the whole
fucking
thing.
weird. Like the police are like, there's two people who are quite clearly in the middle of some sort of chase, doing fucking shit. And what do they let the guy on the motorbike go, but arrest the woman?
Yeah,
Like,
they get
why?
Letty. But because Letty needs to spend the rest of the movie with Cypher. Like that's
Exactly,
it's very
yeah.
obvious like what they're doing
yeah.
here.
And that's the problem. Like it's like these moments are the big problem with the film, where it's literally just like, oh, we need to get Letty out. Why? Get her arrested. Okay, how are we gonna do that? We'll just do that. Well, hang on, mate. What about Momoa? Like, if he's there, like, how are they not gonna? Don't matter.
But like
Just-
and it continues
ignore that
beyond
bit.
that. So we have like,
And
all right,
it's-
so we called up Saturday Night Live and we're like, hey, can you give us someone? Like, yeah, we want to kick Pete Davidson out for a week. Can you take him? And we're like, yeah, we'll take Pete
Yeah.
Davidson.
Pete Davidson in London. Oh, I just thought of another thing as well. Like, do they get out and he's like, oh, I got cash, and it's like, yeah, American dollars in London, and he's paying for stuff in. He's gonna use them in a vending machine in London. It's like, that's not gonna work, guys. You need
No, that's
British pounds.
pretty dumb. But either way, like, I don't mind Pete Davidson in this. Like, he's one of the funnier things in it. Ryan disagrees with me,
has
but I don't.
Ryan has opinions on this.
I loathe Pete Davidson. Loathe. Like I watched Terminator: Rise of the Beast. I couldn't even watch that movie. It's like, that's Pete Davidson. I hate him. That's Pete Davidson. I hate him.
Terminator:
Not-
Rise of the Beast. Is that a new-
Transformer.
Oh, right. I was like, do we have another Terminator film to do?
Funny.
Nah, he was
Not
funny. In this.
funny.
That
He-
line of "you leave your money up in space," like that got me.
Yeah, that was quite good, that.
Funny. I don't. He just rubs me the wrong way. And
Oh,
when he pops up, I'm like, this movie sucks even more now. That
No,
might be
I-
the reason why it's worse in my rankings.
There's a whole thing about Pete Davidson of like he is kind of like you love him or violently hate him, and I don't get how that one person pulls it off so well. But either way, I mean, I guess maybe not love him. Either you don't mind him or you want to murder him.
I think I'm on like the fence of like I could take him or leave him. Like I don't
Yeah.
hate him when he turns up and stuff. I think he's okay, but then if he's in things a lot, like when he turned up, I was thinking, oh, I really hope he's not in here for longer than 5 minutes. And I was all right with that when he was only in it for about 5 minutes.
He had a couple good lines in there. Guys,
Yeah.
stop! You're doing dozens of dollars in damage. There's some good shit in there. But honestly, like when this movie starts splitting off like this, and like, all right, we have Han, I guess, is gonna hang out with Roman and Tej because we still have Han, and we didn't really have anything for him to do in this movie. So
I do like that they've
Chuck him in with
signed him
them.
up to Tinder.
yeah, like,
Mhm.
but it was just
And
so
it's
like,
and they're like, oh well, it'll take a bit of time before you. And it's like diddling, 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 diddling. It's just like match. He's not even started swiping yet. That's not how Tinder works.
yeah, I wouldn't know. I got married before online dating really kicked off.
Well, all right, show off.
I'm not showing up.
I'm grateful for that.
More showing my
Me
age.
too.
Yeah, you're all lucky because Tinder's a cesspool of shite.
But yeah, so when this movie starts splitting off and everybody's in their own things, it's like, oh, now the Vin Diesel show is the really boring one. The Han, Roman, Tej, and why am I blanking on her name? Ramsey, thank you. The Ramsey show is okay. It's not my favorite. Han really doesn't fit in. They just don't have anything for him to do yet till Giselle gets back. And then we get the side movie that I would have watched for this entire 2.5-hour thing of John Cena the babysitter. That was the most entertaining shit.
Yes.
Peacemaker, the babysitter episodes.
Oh
is
my God.
so fucking good.
All
like,
of it.
Him like, oh, we need to change your clothes, and then it's like he's in frigging board shorts and like the cheesiest outfit ever.
But
it's so good.
This goes to the credit to the child actor too, that they can with John Cena. That's what makes the charisma work, and that's what, like you said, I could watch that all day, every day.
Oh, that was the best stuff in the movie.
Also, that's just having the time of his life.
Oh, the kid's so good.
The kid's so good, but also they've really fucked up, because I've just realized this is supposed to be taking place 10 years after Fast 10, right? Fast X, Fast 5. Fucking hell. This is supposed to be taking place 10 years after Fast 5.
I think Matt just had a stroke there.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. And not the good kind.
Yes.
No, like,
yes. I can't do it either. Fuck.
It's hard.
This takes place 10 years after Fast 5.
Ryan gets the gold star.
That kid is
Still want my bronze.
12. That kid is 12 at least.
Yeah.
How is he 12 in a film that takes place 10 years after Dom met the person who's his mother?
In a movie the cars are in space, we're not going to talk semantics here. Let's just not. What I want to talk about is how this kid is drifting better than I even drive in a parking lot at the start of the movie. Like,
oh yeah, making
he's
donuts.
Toretto's kid.
Yeah.
And then straight up murdering people.
I love that. Like, I love the John Cena of like hey, we don't swear unless stub toes and what was the other one? Stub toes. Like stub toes. Oh, song lyrics and stub toes. And then at the end of the movie, like, and rocket cars. Like John Cena and this kid, like their chemistry is good. Like it just kind of makes everything work. Like I love him in the plane. Like it's not the height, is it? No. Okay, good. When they're getting like a little like bullshit plane to get out of there. Really glad it wasn't the height.
And again, it's like, this is a commercial plane. They don't have big cargo doors that open like that.
No, everything where they're at would just be jammed with luggage. Well, no, not really anymore, because people don't fly with luggage anymore. But it used to be jammed with luggage. Now it probably would look like that, just a big empty thing, but with just out the cargo launch.
Yeah. And again, like that plane that he walks onto, they do realize that they X-ray shit. So it's like, oh, this is a surfboard. Wait, this is a fucking plane. Like, and he's carrying that. He carries that plane as well. Like,
it's John Cena. I legitimately believe he could carry a plane. The
airliner that they're on wasn't flying. It was just John Cena was just there, like pushing it along,
just tossing it and making it glide,
giving it a bump start.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say something else.
I do look as like it's like the music he puts on is like fucking Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch as well.
Oh yeah, and I love that he defends him too. Like, nobody badmouths the Funky Bunch. Oh, it's just so good. Somewhere in the middle of this, I'm sure I talked over it. We had the Momoa and the corpse scene, right? That was in between this.
Oh,
that's my favorite moment. That is
so good.
It's so good, right? I mean, that's
so
full blown Joker. Like
he is
like we've been flirting with being the
nails.
Joker, but now it's just him.
Painting the dead, like, the corpse's nails, talking to them, and like they've got the taped up eyes and all that sort of stuff as well. And it's just, oh my god, it is so good.
And apparently Momoa had to fight to keep that scene in the movie. Like everyone wanted it, and like Universal's like, this is a bit much, guys. Like.
Is it Universal or is it Vin Diesel doing the whole? Oh man, he's outshining me.
He's really outshining me. Like this is.
Yeah, I got to be the cool guy. I got to be the one that everyone wants to see on screen. This is not good.
No, but that scene is just incredible. Like
my favorite is when he's leaving and he goes, "Okay, guys, someone will pick you up and put you in body bags later, or bury you."
Yes!
So it's like this, and he's in a pink robe. I'm like, yeah. Damn it, I want to be with you for the rest of this movie.
Not literally though, because I feel like I wouldn't survive.
No,
but watching from afar, I'm okay with that.
But man, I didn't write down in my notes where it was because I always kind of get lost in that sequence. I also
what
I don't know.
annoyed me is the bit where they go to Rio and like Dom, like does Dom have like garages all around the world with the same car
Yes.
in them
Got
with
loyalty.
that Dodge with that Charger?
Yeah,
Because
he-
like
it's everywhere.
He's
It's
got
like
family.
Ames
And when you're
said.
family with Dom, you buy him a car and you stash it somewhere for him.
It's like Ames said, it's like a cult, but with cars. It's like a
Yeah.
cult with cars. But like
That literally
I really-
does sum up these films.
Yes, this sequence though, when they're in Rio and they race, and he's racing with Elena's sister and then his homeboy from Rio. What I love is Dante, because he goes, "That's the problem with a big family. You can't save them all." So like
Yeah.
that whole sequence was really probably one of the best moments for me, because just that sequence alone really had me on the edge of my seat, because this is like true Joker stuff, as you said, Brian.
Yeah.
Like he's really testing the limits of Don, and people died. There's
Yeah.
a highly big body count for this movie in terms of people that you actually have vested interest in.
Yeah.
One thing about that Rio sequence as well is like when they all pull the guns at each other, like it's gone back to that kind of 80s trope of you point a gun and let's overlay a cocking sound. Because how many times did they have like they're just like going like pointing and you said like why are these guns self-cocking for one thing, and why are they doing it so much? It's like they just emptied their entire magazine just by racking the slide to sound cool.
But I'm waving a stapler in front of my microphone. Is anybody hearing it? Like you can move metal things without them making sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I did the research.
But it's not just that. It's not just that like they're moving it. It's just sort of going with like a sound effect. It's full on like.
Oh yeah, every time.
It's like it's like okay. It's like when like in films where they will cock a shotgun for dramatic effect, and it's like, well, you just ejected a shell. How many of those shells did you have in there at that point? Because you just lost one. You might need that.
Yeah. I'm trying to look through my notes here to see like the major things that we haven't talked about. Like I feel like we've kind of talked about everybody. We've skipped major scenes, but like who cares? This is a part one and all counts for shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like
kind of like first year of university. It doesn't really count towards your final degree. So like no one really.
I feel like
in the first
this
year.
is very much like Lord of the Rings, where they're all separated now and they're all going to come back in the next movie. So it's like they're all off on their own journeys, but
the thing with Lord of the Rings that like all of those individual stories are kind of interesting. Whereas with these ones, a lot of it's just like I don't really care about that. I don't really care about that.
But also
I
with
kind of
those,
care about that, but I'd rather watch that.
Like when you watch, say, Fellowship, and you get to the cliffhanger ending, because that was like the first time in a theater for me where I really remember having like, oh, this is just a full blown, the story is not done yet moment.
Mhm.
But when you got to the end of that movie, the Fellowship was done. Like that was it. Like that was okay. So now they've split, they're going their other ways. And like, sure, the story isn't done, but I guess what I sat down to watch here was, and I can make my peace with it. And that's kind of why I want to, like, if there's anything else we really need to talk about, I feel like there's a lot to talk about with like the Fast and Furious attempt at a cliffhanger. Because like, in my opinion, we've gotten a lot of these this year. Like we've had
shitty it is.
kind of like, so we had this one, we had Spider-Verse, we had Mission Impossible. Was there another one? Or are these the only three like part ones of twos that we've had this year? I feel like we've had quite a few. More than usual is what I'm getting.
I mean, we had like last year.
Dune.
Yeah, last year was Dune, but is that 2 years ago now? We've had Dune.
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
No, I think it was last year. I think.
No, because it was the year that HBO Max did everything goes to HBO Max. So it's actually more.
It was not. There was no Oscars this year. It was the Oscars last year. Yeah,
okay.
I guarantee this movie is going to be nominated for technicals when it comes out in December.
Yeah. But either way, we've had a lot of these.
Part
like,
2's this year, though. I think.
Yes.
Well, actually,
supposedly it might get pushed. One of our others keeps fucking around. Anyhow,
I'm just more thinking: did they finish?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
they did.
Like all with
all
all the
also,
actors.
I know. Warner Brothers is also worried about awards season coming up, and if there is even going to be one, and they want Dune to be in it, so they're even talking about pushing because of that.
Yeah. So either way, we've had a lot of these part ones of twos lately, and there's something to be said about like if you go listen to Ryan's show where he and I talked about Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Like that was a movie that knew how to end. Like it knew how to be like, all right, this is just part one. Like clearly it's part one. There's still a much bigger story here at play, but we're not really going to do anything with it. We're just going to finish this part of the story. You're going to feel like you have an ending, and then there's more.
You've got the key.
Yeah,
Empire Strikes Back.
But there's still the sub to use the key. So
yeah, it's closer to Empire Strikes Back than any of the rest of these. And a lot of these
Yeah.
people have been pitching to me as Empire Strikes Back. Largely, it's been Spider-Verse, which I vastly disagree. I think Spider-Verse's ending is as bad as this one. But this is like, I'll talk about Spider-Verse on some Spider-Man show at some point, which we could actually do. There's plenty of those movies.
I'm gonna say there's enough of them now. If
Yeah,
you do the
yeah.
Raimi ones, the
We could do that at some point.
Mark Foster.
Yeah.
Didn't he direct? Is it Mark Foster who directed Quantum of Solace as well?
Yes.
Was that someone else?
And he did Finding Forrester, too.
Fucking terrible film. Like,
Yeah.
really badly edited film.
Fast and Furious.
Sorry.
Fast and Furious. This
Another
to me,
badly edited film.
this movie, the ending almost would have worked for me if we had some cartoony voice going, "Will Dom survive? Will this plane not crash? Find out next time." If they had done that and just gone full tilt, I would have walked out of there going like, no, it's perfect. Like that's exactly what I wanted. But since they actually try to treat this like a cliffhanger for a movie they haven't shot yet, the ending of this movie feels more like a middle finger than most I've experienced. Like, because at least Spider-Verse, I know they're nearly done with the next one. If they, they just have to throw a few more animators in a cage and not let them see their families. And then we'll get another Spider-Verse movie. Like, we know they tried to film Mission Impossible back to back, but there's just too much to be done with the strike, so we're not going to get that one. At least those movies had a plan.
Yeah.
This just feels like they haven't even written 11. Like, because we just magically are getting some Hobbs and Shaw, not Hobbs and Shaw, but Hobbs and maybe someone else, Momoa, maybe movie shoved in between them.
I don't give a shit about.
No, I don't care at all.
Don't like. Give me a Shaw film, fine. I actually really, when he loads up all those guns and gets into that car and drives off,
I'm
like,
gonna dig some graves. Like, show me
I
those
want to
graves.
fucking see that.
Yeah.
Show me that film because that looks fucking awesome. Like, it's Jason Statham, unhinged.
Yeah,
but like, it's Jason Statham from Furious 7, but going after bad guys now. I'm all for that.
Yeah, just make it Jason Statham's The Raid and just give him a building. He's gonna murder the whole building. I'll watch that movie in a second.
And it's like now we end up with like the mid-credit sequence to The Rock. I know I'm jumping way ahead, but I've just seen the note, and it just the whole idea of him like saying "son bitch" instead of "son of a bitch." It's just like it starts off as like a pronunciation thing. Now he's literally just going "son bitch," like he's just saying "son bitch, son bitch." There's some bitch around.
There's any one of them.
Just don't like her, and it's just like
Hobbs and
not
Reyes,
a fucking catchphrase.
the some bitches.
Yeah, some bitches. Yeah.
But it's the way that he looks like in the camera, and like he might as well just fucking wink at this point and goes, "Some bitch," and it's like that's a shit catchphrase.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
That's not. I'll be back. Like,
no,
get the fuck out of here.
No, but he's right. I mean, he bombed left and right for like 2 years straight. Yeah, he came back to Fast and Furious. But like,
they should have turned around and said, "Nah, fuck you. You made your grave. You lay in it. You dug that grave."
So I'm very, very clear on how much I dislike this ending. I think this ending is shit. It kind of ruins the experience for a little bit. I hate that there's zero closure on any front whatsoever. That said, I still think the movie's worth watching. So like, I don't think it didn't like take that away from me. Like I've told from our network, John, who does Demon Days, he's like, I'll wait for the next one. I'm like, you should just see it. Like, yeah, the cliffhanger is awful, but the movie itself is a fun enough ride that like it doesn't matter. And it's not like the next one will come out anytime soon.
To me, the cliffhanger just looks like a bunch of things that were just shot against green screen. Like
the whole movie looks like it was just shot against green screen. The green screen in this movie is garbage.
But the end especially, because you have Jack Reacher lowering the rocket launcher, and it's like that's definitely green screen. You have the shitty effects of them driving down the dam with the explosions and everything, and it's just all of that. It just kind of feels like, what should we do? How should we end this?
How do you skip over the Matrix slow-mo through the car on his
with
face?
The arm.
Yeah, with the arm. Like,
yeah,
what am I watching? Like, what?
I felt
that shot. I'd forgot about that, and that's like the first thing I thought was like, oh, so Vin Diesel wanted to show off how big his arm is, because it like literally goes on his bicep at one point. It's like, look at how strong.
And he's got like the sweat beads going down.
I got a real problem with this ending, because I feel when I sat and thought about it, I'm like, this is them trying to stay relevant, because they understand things were rocky with 8. 9 didn't go so hot, so let's try to make this movie, have Momoa be, off the rails, and give them a cliffhanger that's going to make us stay relevant and people are going to want to come back. That's part of what I was thinking, but everything about this movie failed. We never have received this. It's like the allusion to 9. These guys can escape anything, so we know it's going to happen. So why give us a cliffhanger if we know that they're going to survive?
Yeah.
It's like you said, it wasn't even written. They just threw it together to let's have this.
It's less Empire Strikes Back, more Halloween Kills.
Yes.
Halloween Kills ends better than this. Like,
yeah, I know, but like it's still got that stupid thing of like, oh well, we need to set up a cliffhanger, so let's randomly just kill off Laurie's daughter for no reason.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. That's what it feels like so much. It's like, oh, we need a bit of a cliffhanger. Why? Why do you need a cliffhanger? Like, it's not a TV series that's going to come back next season. Like, this is if you put a cliffhanger in these things. Sometimes it can work. Most of the time, it just pisses your audience off. Like, if the rest of the film has been fantastic and phenomenal and like amazing, and you end it on like a cliffhanger, like Dune, for example. You look at like the way that they end Dune. It's the perfect ending of like where the story is in the book. I think when you split that in half, when I was reading the book, I was like, I got to the point in which it ends in the film. I was like, that's going to be where they're going to end it in the film.
I did the same thing. Yep.
Because it's perfect. It's so perfect. Like there is almost like this sort of like line in the book.
You're going to say the sand,
like,
as a line. Going to say line in the sand, weren't you?
I was going to say a line in the sand, but like I was like, no, that's too on the nose. Basically, like there is a line in the book where it's like you have this part of the story, which is kind of like it's a lot of setup, but it's also telling a story. So it's not just a bunch of setup to then pay off in the next part. But there's a very definite thing of like, okay, well, this is where we're going to jump ahead now, and the rest of the story will sort of like unfold after this. Whereas with this one, it just kind of feels like, oh, we don't really know what we want to do. We want, we know we're going to end it, but we don't want to end it on just one film. We want to make as much money as we can. Just stretch it out a bit. And like for a 2 hours and 20-minute film,
this is a long movie.
You could shave off half an hour. And it would like no difference, really.
I mean, as much as I enjoyed the Pete Davidson scene, you can just lift that whole fucking thing out. Like, we need to hack that computer. We need to go buy a magic computer from Pete Davidson. Oh, okay, I guess.
And then he screws over, and we just like, oh, well, we run and go to the next dude, but there's literally no consequences of them going to see Pete Davidson.
No,
as well.
It's just the consequences.
It's not even like that assault team. We don't have one bit of the assault team going to Pete Davidson and going, oh yeah, they were here about 2 minutes ago. You might be able to track them or something like that. They just show up randomly. It's like they could have been that. You do not need that scene. And there's about 5 or 6 scenes like that, which like as much as it is the best thing in the film, you could lift a lot of the little Brian and John Cena moments as well. Because again,
you shouldn't. That should be the whole movie.
No, you shouldn't. It's like, and like, you could lift that scene with Momoa and the dead bodies. You shouldn't, because it's fucking great. Like, and that's the problem with this film. And another thing that does my head in is fucking Dante getting the God's Eye. I'm like, destroy that thing.
Yeah.
5 different bad guys have had that now. That is too dangerous. Like, either lock it away in a much more secure facility or just fucking hit it with a hammer. Because
it's very easy to get it back, though. I mean, we get it back all the time.
Yeah, but they still get it. And like, they create like 15 9/11s like while they have that fucking thing. It just... Sorry, I've gone on a rant now, and it's...
Yeah, this movie's easy to start getting mad at. But...
it does, because it's... I think the problem with this one as well is, like, I know, like, me and the term realism, it keeps coming up in these episodes, and like, I know I have to sort of like...
Wrong franchise.
Well, this is the thing. I know I have to swallow my tongue on a lot of things of like, basically, yes, it's the Fast and Furious ones. They're not meant to be realistic, but the unrealistic elements in them still have some semblance of physics in there. Like, you still feel there is some semblance of physics. Like dragging a Volt through the street. If you got a powerful enough car, yes, you could probably do that. If you had strong enough cable, yes, you could probably do that. But
it's just like Tej in F9, as long as we follow the laws of physics.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie.
And like, you could feasibly launch a car into space with like, space suits, and you'd be okay-ish. Maybe. But it's more believable than this big fucking round bomb, because it's round, all of a sudden it can roll. It just keep rolling. It doesn't matter
It was
what
designed
it
to do. It kind of like the bomb from Oppenheimer, which I really like.
And that's the thing as well. It's like, is that a nuke? Because when that goes off in the water, it's like there is a definite nuke style shockwave. And I'm there going, oh, so that's what the rest of this film is going to be. It's going to be a serious drama about them coping with the fact they're dying of radiation poisoning. It's Chernobyl too.
That'd be
And then no,
it'd be a different movie.
it would have been a better movie.
That would be a brave choice.
Yeah,
Fast X. The X stands for radiation poisoning.
yeah, they're just driving and they look real fast. They're going like 20 miles per hour, just bleeding from their mouths. Just yeah, I get it.
Face melting off and everything like that.
Is there anything else in this
Fast
movie?
X Face Off.
Oh. Is there anything else in this movie anybody really wants to talk about? We didn't talk about poor Brie Larson at all, but I think that's
The film doesn't really do much.
She had her moment of awesomeness. She had a few moments of awesomeness.
Did
but-
she?
I love the
I like
bit
the
the
bar
bar
scene.
scene
The
and
bar
the
scene
bar
was-
scene, yeah. With
and
the
when she
shotgun
hopped
where
up
she's
on
like,
the car, but then only
that
to
was
get
too, the hop in the car was too much for me. That was just weird. It didn't look like she was wearing anything she could jump on a car in. Like it was a weird, very like stiff
High
pantsuit.
heels.
Jurassic Park had its moment of running in high heels. Give Fast and Furious its moment.
I still don't like Jurassic Parks. I'm not going to give you one of the moment. It's done both places.
Wait, Jurassic Park is good. Jurassic World.
Yes, Jurassic World. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah. And then like Jurassic Park 1 is good. 2
But
and
the
3
bar
can
scene.
get
The
fucked.
bar
scene is
The
good.
bar scene is so good because I love the bit where she gets the shotgun and she's like, anyone want shots? Shots?
Like I know the internet really seems to hate Brie Larson for some reason. I still dig her.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they hate her. Because she is a strong woman who has opinions about, she should what she wants to do with herself, with her body, and quote unquote feminist. And then there'll be a bunch of neckbeards out there who are like, "Oh, I don't like that. A woman is not just women's are just for making babies, and I should be allowed to do it." Like, fuck off.
I'm fine with her.
That's my. You can cut
I
that
actually-
out. It just,
I actually-
that whole thing of the people hating Brie Larson really fucks me off because it
I
all
actually
comes
applaud
down
her.
to
Like she is a woman who stands behind her
Yeah.
beliefs, and
Yeah.
she was a big advocate. She was in a movie about someone who was abducted and raped, and when Casey Affleck won his Oscars, there was issues coming out about him, and she handed the trophy, and that's it. They give him a hug. Good for her. She was still there. She did what she was supposed to. She's a woman that stands behind her, and she's an okay actress. She's fine.
I think she's good. I mean, she's not good in this, but I don't think she was really trying. It kind of goes back to Joel's like only one person wanted to be here.
That's true.
Momoa.
Like she was just killing
She's-
time
she's
between
good.
Marvel
She's good.
movies.
And like
but-
you look at like film like Free Fire, that she's great in that as
she's
well.
great in Free Fire. Free Fire is a good movie.
Free Fire
Um,
is such a good film. I love
yeah.
that film so much.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so that's Brie Larson. Anyone else we need to talk about in this thing?
I think we need to spend at least another half hour talking about Rita Moreno's 15 minutes of screen time. Because let's just say, let's put a classic actress. We already have Dame Helen Mirren. Let's throw Rita Moreno in there. No. All she said, the only thing of relevance that she said that anybody else could have said is pass it down. Like, that's just making Little Brian like the justification of him being a gearhead. Not needed.
Yeah.
Why do-
We know that's going to happen anyway as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we started that with when Brian and Mia had their kid. Like, we know that any kid that comes out of a Toretto or in any way, shape or form is going to be
Like
into
Alien?
cars. Yeah. That's how
That'd
Little
be a
Brie was born,
xenomorph
right?
that could drive a car. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Now I'm just picturing it like I have a mental image of a xenomorph, hand on steering wheel, and just looks to like ready to race. And then the little mouth comes out and goes,
he opens his mouth and this thing talks. He's got a hole in the back of the seat for his tail. His
Yeah.
tail
Yeah.
goes through the rear view. Oh god, we have a movie, guys. Let's keep going. Let's
I'm so
You've got
into
the
this
hands on the
movie.
steering wheel, and then they're turning really fast, but the little mouth comes out to give them a bit more power.
Yeah.
to turn.
No, the little
No,
mouth
the
honks the
tongue.
horn.
the tongue hits the tongue hits the NOS button.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
We have derailed.
Yeah,
Time to wrap it.
All right, let's move into
Alien.
quotes. Let's do
Family.
quotes.
Hive mind. Oh god, I gotta stop.
Quote quotes
Mhm.
of the quote types. Joel hasn't said much in a while, so I'm gonna make him go first.
All right. And my favorite was already covered, which was the "You want to control the world, I just want to punish it." So I'll exchange it for this one. Han and Dom are talking, and Han mentions those are some tough times, and Dom goes, "Those are some great times." And for a series that, I mean, they don't have all that insightful a thought really, and relationships and thoughts are usually kind of basic. It was just a nice little like reflection of, well, yeah, sometimes when you go through difficult stuff, you'll still see that kind of like rose-colored glasses view of things, and try to focus on, you know, the good of what came of it. And it was a nice, thoughtful moment in a very thoughtless movie.
Thoughtless. That's a perfect way to describe this film.
Yeah.
No one put any thought into this.
So my quote is a little less poignant, but I still dig it. I'm going with it. It's when Momoa is, you know, causing all the ruckus in Rome. It's before he gets on the motorcycle, he gets in the mix, and they're talking about blowing up a church, and he looks at the guys with him, he's like, blow up a church? Okay, I'll do it, but you guys are going to hell.
No, it's the Vatican. It's that, because I've got that written down.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, dorks, where are we blowing up? What? The Vatican?
Oh, Vatican, that's right, yeah.
Wow.
Bet
Okay,
you guys
I'll
are
do
going
it.
to hell.
You guys are going to hell.
Like,
And the great thing about that is the reaction shots from all the guys are there like, this guy's fucking mental, but he has our loved ones, so let's just keep working for him.
yeah, like I had another quote, but it just, no, like that one does okay, I'll do it. You guys are going to hell. It's like,
It's probably the best quote from Dante. The whole it's because it goes back to that psychotically deranged kind of thing of like, you know, he's having a conversation with the people who are there that are not even saying anything, and he's putting words in their mouth, and it's that because they're essentially professional mercenaries.
Yeah,
and then you've got this insane, like, huge personality that is like so massive, but they do a really good thing with juxtaposing with the reaction. You get a few reaction shots of the people around him going, this guy's fucking nuts, and it makes it work so much better because it's not just him going Looney Tunes shit. There's actually a sort of a realization in the film of like, yeah, this guy's fucking mental, and it elevates his character's psychoticness to
having people to bounce off of definitely helps. I'm gonna go with my second quote. I really hope I'm not taking yours or Ryan's, because it was also just I had to do it,
so it's fine.
I had to, but it's the other Momoa quote. It's like one of his first lines, like after we get past the flashback. It's when he goes in like the badass Charlize Theron evil lair dungeon, and he throws it that like just classic bad guy line of they say in the moments before your death, your life flashes before your eyes. Is it true? It's like, oh, that's a good bad guy line. I like that one. That is much better than what got Hobbs and Shaw, just bad guy. Like, God, the fuck out of here.
But I mean, that like Hobbs and Shaw, that kind of sums up Hobbs and Shaw, though. That's about as much thought that was put into that film.
Yeah, and this is where Idris Elba's gonna have a great reply. Just throw in bad guy for now. We'll figure it out later. Oh shit! That rolled, didn't it? All right, now you guys can go.
Okay. Are we doing moments or just both?
Whatever you want.
You could do a moment or a quote. I think like
okay,
you're either gonna have a moment or a quote in this one.
I'm just gonna say the moment, the whole him painting the nails of the just really had me in stitches. And just when he gets up to leave, he goes, "It's okay, guys. I'll have someone come and they'll bury you later." Like, just everything about that was just so good. But I also like, just because it's so fucking cliche.
It's the tone of voice that he has in that as well.
Right.
Like the way he says that, it's like, "Okay, guys, I have someone to come bury you later. See you later."
If there is anything to wrap up this movie perfectly, it's right before he goes down the dam with everything exploding.
Oh God, no!
And he says, "You made one mistake. You never took my car." I'm like, yep, this is where we're at now.
I erased that from my mind.
If anybody listens to The Rock, you never let these guys get in a car. Come on.
That's true.
Anyway, no. But no, the whole thing with I'll have somebody come bury you. That was it for me.
That's a good one.
So I'll go with it's Tej and Rowan. This was like, sorry for whooping your ass, man, because I didn't really mean to do that. The whole thing, it would have been a whole You okay? What's wrong? I'm just allergic to your bullshit. I love that. It's like the love of that interplay between Tej and Roman. I think they still, like, throughout these films, their chemistry's only gotten better, I think. And
Yeah.
it's still like, I love seeing those two guys together, even when there's fucking nothing going on. There's always going to be something in there where it's like, oh, I kind of enjoy it. Like the whole nothing scene in Pete Davidson's thing. You've got them fighting each other, and it makes it kind of relevant to, like, you know, to the scene later on.
Yeah.
But you took the best one, which is Dante's thing of, like, you know, what are we blowing up? What, the Vatican?
All right, you guys are-
Okay, I'll do it. But you guys are going to hell.
Oh man, he really makes this a way more watchable movie than it should be.
Really does. Like,
yes.
him alone elevates it up a bunch of places on my rank. Like, because I was looking at it going, I can't rank it that low because of how much fun Momoa is.
Guess we'll see next week as we get to. Okay, I should be honest right now. Our ranking episode coming out next week is going to be. I'm going to do it as quickly as I can, as fastly and furiously as we can, because we got a lot to cover. I went a little crazy with the categories, and we have more than I think we ever have.
I'm surprised there's not top 5 butt shots, but okay.
I mean, when they're all 10
don't
out
get
of
in your
10s.
mind. I've already got all my rankings done. Stop it.
When they're all Gal Gadot as well, it's
Yeah,
like, you know,
right.
it's just Gal Gadot's butt in this film, Gal Gadot's butt in that film, Gal Gadot's butt in that film.
Rave scene in part 5.
Yeah.
Rave scene in part 6.
I mean,
Race Wars.
Rave
Paul
scene in
Walker's
part
butt in this
3
one.
is a good one. I mean, Tokyo Drift, man, they found some good butts in Tokyo. Like good for them. No, the butt list did not make it on the ranking. But we have plenty of other things, including like music, which we've never ranked music before, but I'm excited for that.
Spoiler alert, I just ranked scores. Like,
no one is
specific
surprised.
specific tracks from scores. I should
Again,
add that.
No one is surprised. We have like top 5 action sequences. We got a whole bunch, and I'm really excited for it. And then I should mention right now, before we get into plugs, what we have coming after Fast and the Furious. We're gonna do another film franchise. Surprise, because film franchises are much shorter than TV shows, and they take us less time, so we can get.
Well,
through
you
more.
mean a film franchise of like no more than like 10 films takes us less time to do than a TV series that's like 100 episodes.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. I just
this
figured that out.
We're doing a much shorter one, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. And this one was Matt's idea, so thank you, Matt. We're doing John Wick, all 4 John Wick movies, and maybe we'll watch the Continental at the end. We'll see how much people are digging that.
Only
Man,
3 episodes.
I'm gonna say it's only 3 parts, so it's not
Yeah.
like a long thing to it. It's not like, you know, we're watching them and then it's like a What We Do in the Shadows type situation where there's a full series.
Yeah, so we'll probably throw that in there as well.
And we
why
could,
not?
to be fair, we could do, like, because it's a mini series. Well, we could probably just do 1 episode and cover the lot.
We'll see how it is.
If it is good.
Yeah, maybe we'll split in 2 parts. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll figure it out. When we get
It
there.
looks pretty shit.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all. But I'm also not a big John Wick guy, so you have a lot of road to cover with me, because I've only seen the first and second, and the second I hated so much, I'm like, I'm done with this. I never watched another one. So
3's good.
Three's good. 4, I think, is the best.
4 is really
I've
good.
heard a lot of this, and I'm excited to watch them. But that's what's coming next. And then we have a whole other franchise after that we've already talked about. We are so prepared, more prepared than we've ever been in the history of Binge Buddies. So I'm proud.
And then we
of
know
us.
what's coming after that as well.
I would like to think that since you guys added me, that's part of the reason why. I'll see myself.
We're just trying to impress Ryan every episode. That's the whole reason we do this.
Yeah, I don't really like doing these podcasts anymore. I'm just doing it just to keep Ryan impressed.
As
Matt,
long
thank
as
you
Ryan
so
thinks I'm
much.
cool, I'm living well. But let's do a
This
very
will be
quick
my
round of
last
plugs.
episode. You'll never hear from me again.
Yeah, of course not. This show.
No, you're tied in now.
Matt, you're stepping on my plug. ATHpod.com. Go there. Joel has shows there as well. It's my worst plug ever.
Afterthoughts Book Club podcast. I've been trying to stay quiet while you guys talked about Dune. And
are you reading Dune? Are you reading Dune?
No.
You
Not
bastard.
even in honor of
lying lie. You are a lying liar.
It's gonna come around to where you're raising money again, and we're gonna say the same thing, and it's gonna happen.
we're
Still not
we're-
gonna deliver.
we're gonna be there before that. I can't shame myself that far.
I want a refund.
What
Good
are you,
luck with
1
that.
cent? You're 5 cents. You donated
Yeah.
5
Go
cents.
tell that children's hospital I want my money back.
Yes, do you have a nickel?
I only gave you this money because I was promised June, goddammit, and I'm not getting June. Fuck you.
Whatever. It's only Iowa. And Super GG Radio's video game podcast, Vampire Survivors, comes out on the 17th. Get it. It's only $5
On everything?
Switch. It's already out on everything else except Switch.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah.
Ryan, what you plugging?
You can catch me on Front Row Network, where I do different movie reviews, but I have my own channel on there, Front Row Flashbacks, where we talk about movies from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And our movie for August is celebrating the anniversary of Tombstone. So, Matt, I'll be your Huckleberry.
I haven't actually seen that one. I saw Wyatt Earp. I never saw Tombstone. I should actually watch it because I've heard, like, recently I've been hearing a lot of people talking about Tombstone and like how good it is, and yeah,
I'm shocked you haven't seen Tombstone. That one seems like right up your alley. Like that was.
I know it's one of those ones that it just kind of slipped away. Like slipped.
I get it. Yeah,
quite a bit.
Just that one seems like a Matt movie.
Well, at the time as well, like, you know, when those were coming out, I was a big like Kevin Costner fan. He was kind of like, you know, the first actor that I kind of idolized. So it was I was all about Wyatt Earp because that was the one that he was in. And then I just, like, you know, never really watched Tombstone, and then it never came around. Like, the more people talk about it, the more I'm like, I should really check that out.
Give it a shot.
Add it to my list.
Yeah. Do you have anything to plug? Is it Tombstone?
No, I'd just rather step on people's plugs and like hurt my foot and just like
Perfect. All right. So with that, we're gonna say goodbye. And
that was the worst joke ever.
Yep, it's great. Tune in next week when we wrap this shit up. Been a lot of fun talking Fast and Furious, but you can't say goodbye without a good wrap up episode. So tune in next week.
It's been a lot of fun talking about them. Some of them lesser to watch. Looking at you, Hobbs and Shaw.
That's the Binge Buddies way, man.
We suffer for to entertain you people. We suffer.
We like at least a third of the franchises we watch. Oh man, that's our new tag. Bye.